Assalamualaikum and hi. Today I will be discussing about icons of thought, Kurt Lewin. Kurt Lewin, that was born in 1890 until 1947, was a German-American psychologist widely regarded as the father of modern social psychology and applied psychology in the United States. He completed his doctoral studies at the University of Berlin before migrating to the United States due to World War II. He gave lectures and seminars on both philosophy and psychology. During at Yale in 1929, his influential presentations in the United States grew, where he helped solidify his ideas into a psychological community. He established and directed the Research Center for Group Dynamics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is MIT. Lewin's research focused on human behavior with social contexts, including group process, leadership, behavior change, and environmental influence on behavior. His theories became the foundation of the modern field of social psychology. He was also a prolific writer, publishing more than 80 articles and 8 books on various psychology topics. Many of his unfinished papers were published by his colleagues after his sudden death at age 56. We're moving on to his major contributions, which he contributed to Gestalt psychology by expanding on Gestalt theories and applying them to human behavior. He was also one of the first psychologists to systematically test human behavior, influencing experimental psychology, social psychology, and personality psychology. His theory, which is Kurt Lewin's field theory, which is B equals to FPE, behavior B is a function of the person P and the environment E. In other words, behavior is a function of the life space of a total environment as perceived by the individual. In psychoanalytic thought, behavior is a function of the history of the individual. For example, past childhood experience is supposed to have a direct impact on current psychological processes. As for group dynamics, he devoted the last years of his life to research on group dynamics, believing that groups alter the individual behavior of their constituents. On the basis of research examining the effects of democratic, autocratic, and laissez-faire. This is where the concepts of group decision-making were seen. And the methods of leadership on groups of children, studies on intergroup conflict, cooperation, and social climate, Lewin claimed that small groups operated most successfully when they were conducted in a democratic manner. One of his most famous theory, which is change theory, involves 3 steps. The unfreeze stage involves preparing the organization for change by identifying the need for transformation and fostering readiness. The change stage focuses on implementing new behaviors, processes, or systems. Finally, the refreeze stage aims to stabilize these changes, integrating them into the organization's culture and practices to maintain new state. Lewin's 3-step model of unfreezing, changing, and refreezing provides a foundational and adaptable framework for managing change in any organization, from implementing new technology to restructuring teams. His research methodology, which is action research, which includes planning, action, analysis, and conclusion, aims to simultaneously investigate and solve an issue. The research conducts research and takes action at the same time. This is a highly interactive method which action research is often used in the social sciences, particularly in educational settings. Particularly popular with educators as a form of systematic inquiry, it prioritizes the reflection and bridges the gap between theory and practice. Due to the nature of the research, it is also sometimes called a cycle of action or cycle of inquiry. Moving on to the analysis of the scientific turn, we'll talk about the adoption of natural science methods first that was used by Lewin Kurt. Lewin borrowed concepts from physics and applied experimental and statistical methods to social behavior. He also known as the father of modern social psychology because of his pioneering work that utilized scientific methods and experimentation to look at social behavior. Meeting scientific criteria, his work emphasized objectivity, replicability, measurement, and testable theories through structured experiments. How Lewin contributed to this? For objectivity, he used observable, measurable behaviors rather than subjective impressions. For replicability, he used group leadership experiments that could be repeated with consistent patterns. As for measurement, he quantified behavior change, productivity, and group outcomes. And lastly, for testable theories, field theory and change theory provided testable predictions in real-world settings. Despite his influence, Lewin's theories have been critiqued for being too broad or abstract, especially his field theory, and the three-step change model may not fit complex and model system which is oversimplified. However, these critics highlight the ongoing evolution of psychological science, not a weakness in Lewin's foundational contributions. His frameworks remain foundational. Lastly, his reflection and contemporary relevance today. Lewin's legacy remains strong across many fields. As a social psychologist, his research on group dynamics, experiential learning, and action research had a tremendous influence on the growth and development of social psychology. His three-step model is a foundational framework for managing change, providing a structured approach to transitions in both organizations and personal life. His practical applications, which companies like McDonald's have successfully used his model to guide major strategic shifts, demonstrating its continued practical values in areas like menu innovation and technological upgrades. Lewin's work continues to influence contemporary theory and practice, but modern perspectives also highlight its limitations in a rapidly changing world. Lewin's theories continue to influence organizational psychology, leadership research, behavior change programs, and social science methodologies. Action research is now widely used in education, public policy, and counseling. From my perspective of Kurt Lewin as a psychology student, his work played a major role in establishing psychology as a scientific discipline. His theories encourage systematic experimentation, measurement, and the analysis of social environments. Even today, his ideas help explain how people behave in groups, why behavior changes, and how social forces influence human actions. For these reasons, Lewin's work remains relevant and continues to guide both research and real-world applications. Lastly, thank you for listening to my infographic video regarding our social psychology icons of thought, Kurt Lewin. Thank you.